We got Mary with us.
Hi.
There's Mary Sullivan, one of my favorite people and favorite artists, illustrators, author-illustrator, I guess I should say. Uh, I'll just give you a brief introduction to Mary, if I may. A lot of you already know her, and you've seen our video interview with her. And she did a great interview with Kidlit TV about her book Ball. And I'm going to resend that link. She graduated from the University of Texas with a fine arts degree, and she always wanted to be a painter. And then she was at her critique one time, and a guy told her, "You're not a painter, you're an illustrator." And she was crestfallen. Her lifelong ambition had been shattered with that comment, and then she started re-looking at her work, and she goes, well, maybe I am an illustrator. And did I tell that story right, Mary, or is there more to it?
No, I mean, that's the way it went. I mean, and I was practicing being an illustrator growing up as a child at my little desk. Like, I would sit at the desk and I would pretend somebody asked me to do something, and then I would do it. So yeah, it was weird.
Do it on demand, like a character sketch artist?
Like a boss, and he would tell me what to do, and I would do it. But yet I wanted to be a painter. I had no idea. You know, you're young, you don't know. Nobody told me. So
well, and you picked up painting supplies in art school. You did actually use.
Yeah, and I was horrible.
And you were
horrible painter. It was horrible. So sad.
Well, and then you got married, and then you were also doing freelance art for people, and you were doing custom cards for people. Like, somebody would pay you to do a birthday card for their niece or their nephew, and you would create these little watercolor washes in a style that's not too different from the style you work in today. Is that right? You were learning line and wash.
Mark.
Huh? It was a long.
That hurts. No.
Well, I didn't mean it in a bad way.
That's okay.
It was kind of a line and wash style.
It was line, yeah. It was line and wash, yeah.
With watercolor, and I've talked to a lot of illustrators and aspiring illustrators who've done cards or are thinking about doing cards. Is that a good way to maybe get your hands wet, hands dirty, whatever?
Yeah, you know, the cards I did were custom. So the customer would fill out this long questionnaire, and I would gather that information and draw a drawing from it. Again, practice for illustrating, looking at text, making a drawing, right? So I was practicing illustrating without even knowing it. And yeah, that's great practice.
It was, and did you probably, your customers were actually buying fine art from you, an original fine art piece.
Yeah, and they loved it, you know.
And they loved it.
Did some crazy, like, I did cards from all over the world. I remember doing a card for someone who lived next door to the king or queen of Sweden or something. And then I did like the owner, vice president of Exxon or something that lived in India. You know, there was just these crazy projects. But they were handmade, and I didn't make any money. Real, I made some money, but you know.
How did they find out about you?
Money on cards.
How did they learn about you? How did they even know?
Oh, just it started out. I was in a store downtown Austin, and then it kind of snowballed, and word of mouth, and I had a website, and yeah.
Yeah, you showed them some of them to me one time. You had lots of works, like trial runs and things. You had a great stack of cards, and they were hilarious.
Yeah,
you know, just like your illustration style has so much humor in it.
Yeah, it was a good practice.
Well, then you kind of segued from there to the magazines.
Yeah,
tell us about that.
Highlights magazine hired me for a job, and that was like my dream was to do a hidden picture.
Right.
So I just sent them a little postcard, and Highlights is a good place to start. Although they've grown pretty big, it used to be very small, and there was a few art directors, easy to contact. But yeah, they're a great place to send a postcard and to get your foot in the door, because from there, someone saw my artwork on the back of Highlights,
Mm-hmm.
And I got another job with a publisher, and then it just kind of, grew.
Just kind of grew, and you are now the author illustrator of the picture book Ball, which won a Theodore Geisel Honor Book
Mm-hmm.
Award from the American Library Association. That was announced just last year, wasn't it? And Ball is kind of taken the world by storm. In the video interview we did with Mary a couple years ago, we got to see the letter that the editor had written her saying, "Oh my God, this is just the kind of book we were always looking for." And she just went on and on. And is she the one responsible for your sequels coming out? You've got 2 sequels in the
Yes, it is. Yeah. But before that, a few years before that, I got a letter about Ball that said, "No, this is not right. This is not really
from the same house."
Chronicle.
From Chronicle Books. Oh man, they're lost. Had you been aspiring for a long time to do your own picture book? Was that was your first, wasn't it? Were you shopping dummies for?
I mean, that's the first one I shopped. I shopped out a couple of other ones.
Uh-huh.
I'm not very aggressive, and I don't really aspire much. It's not like a big dream to get stuff published. I just love to draw, and I love to write, and that's kind of on the side. So.
What a great attitude. I think where your ambition goes is into your piece, trying to make the piece as perfect as you're envisioning it in your mind.
And that's the exciting part.
Yeah.
The exciting part is the idea, the get home and sketch it, put it together, and then you sell it, and it's like, okay, not fun anymore.
Not
Now I got to do the work. You got to do the final illustrations, and by then you're already on something else.
Well, so this whole thing of promoting yourself as a published author illustrator and going on book tours and book signings, that's just not that's not something you like particularly.
No, I don't. I appreciate so much the awards and the librarians. I appreciate them. I mean, without them, I don't know what we would all do.
Yeah.
But I don't enjoy leaving my house.
Your drawing board or your Photoshop screen.
Yeah, I need this stuff, So.
Well, Mary, do you think can we take a look at some things you might be working on right now, or do you have some pictures of yours to show us that you could walk us through? And then we'll go into the critiques here in just a minute.
Okay. Let me share this with you.
Share the screen. Okay. Mary's gonna.
I just redid this cover last night.
We're not seeing it yet. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna.
Do you see it?
Frankie. Yep, he's up front and center.
Yeah. I just redid. They sent me a message yesterday. They had their meeting, and can you see me moving it around?
Yep. And this is Harcourt.
This is Houghton Mifflin.
Houghton Mifflin Harcourt.
Yeah.
And so they just had their editorial meeting about Frankie that's coming out in 2016.
Yeah, because they have to get the covers done. And the cover before was kind of pink and it was too girly. And they sent me an email last night. They're like, "It's too girly. Can you redo the colors?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. It is so girly. Why did I do that?" It was like, and when I finished the cover, I was thinking, this is the best cover ever. And then I got the letter and they said, "This is way girly." And I said, I didn't even see that. It's so weird. You get yourself in this like hole and you really need people to say, "Hey, that's not right." So anyway, they're very nice about it too. And, but I got a letter this morning and she said, "We love this. This is great."
So how did you make it less girly? By changing the background from pink to blue? Did that do the trick?
Yeah. Let me see if I still have. Let me see if I still have that one. Oh, great. That's gonna be hard for me to find it.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. No, we can.
Because
paint a word picture for us. Girly.
I think I threw it in the trash because it was so horrible. But
That was very astute of them because they knew that boys are going to want to read about a little dog like this.
yeah, and they loved this. It was great. It was great.
Congratulations. Now this one coming out after Treat? Treat is in the works. That's about to be released.
Yeah, Treat comes out next spring, 2016. And
Okay.
then this one comes out 2017.
Okay.
And then Nobody's Duck comes out. This one, Nobody's Duck, comes out in the fall of 2017. And this one's really funny. I love this one. This one makes me laugh. It's just really funny.
Now, is this a black and white storyboard that you've done, or was the book going to be in monochrome like this? Or
yeah, this is just how I do it. I kind of do the cover, and then I actually try to visualize the whole book, you know. But can you see the?
Yes.
This alligator wakes up and sees a duck and sitting in his front yard, and at nighttime the duck's still there, and then the duck is still there, and the next morning he's playing one of those origami little games and just whistling, and the alligator's just like, what is the deal? And he's like, hey duck. But so it goes on. It's just it's funny, and he's like, whose duck are you? And there's the duck. He has this bag he carries, and there's all these hats in it and just everything you need. So he puts his thinking cap on. He think. I'm nobody's duck. So this alligator's like, well, you must be somebody's duck. So he takes, the duck already has his little outfit on, you know, to go for a ride. So he ends up taking the duck takes him to the library, asks the librarian, but you don't want me to go through the whole thing. That'll take.
That's hilarious. Where did this come from? Where did this duck, how did he?
I'm going to see if I can switch back. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah. It comes from, I was walking, I'm trying to get me back up there.
Oh, then just toggle off your screen share. So,
oh, okay, I see.
And it will say, do you want to stop screen share?
All
Yeah,
right.
there you are. Yeah.
It came from, down behind my house is a pond, and there's never ducks there. For years, there's never been ducks. And so all of a sudden there was 2 ducks down there. And every time I would walk by with my dogs, I would say, whose duck are you? You know, and that went on for months, you know, and then one day I was like pretending I was the duck, answering myself, and I said, I'm nobody's duck. So it just blossomed from there, and that's just how weird I am. That's how it happens.
That's how it happens. Have you shown it to Houghton Mifflin yet?
Yes, I just sold it.
You just sold it. Okay, great. On the basis of that sheet that you just showed us?
Yes, that's what I sent them, yeah. And they loved it.
And they loved it. Of course.
Right away, so.
Oh my gosh, that is fabulous.
Yeah.
Now, can you give us a thought about your process? You might have some more work shows, but how you bring sketches to do what the promo sheet you just showed us. Do you bring those sketches right into Photoshop and start painting? Can you tell us a little bit? You've got a unique way of working with Photoshop.
I used to draw on paper. I used to draw, and I still do. I draw on the tablet sometimes.
Okay.
But I mostly draw my sketches on the computer now. And I draw, I draw in black and white. And then I change these, let me get back on here.
Okay.
These, and then I bump up the red. I don't know why I do that, but this whole thing used to be black and white, and then I feel like if there's a little warmth to it, they might like it a little more. I don't know why. I just feel like that. And I like it more when there's the red hue. So that's why it's not black and white.
Uh-huh.
And so yes, I draw all this on the computer.
Now on your Wacom tablet with a stylus or
Yep, with the stylus, with the Wacom. I don't know how I know there's a couple of people that draw without the Wacom, and I don't know how they do it. Um,
But you're comfortable drawing. Do you feel just as comfortable drawing on the Wacom as you do in your sketchbook?
Now I do. It took a lot of practice.
Okay.
It took to get that emotion that
Yeah.
for years, for centuries, because I'm like centuries old. It took me, it's hard to convey emotion in your line. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I was going to say that you pay a lot of attention to your line quality, and you're always changing it for very specific strategic reasons within a drawing.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
Oh man, those are great.
Now, yeah. It has the funniest ending. Look, this is like the next morning. They're friends. Here's the duck and the alligator. They're in the house. They're like in their wrestling outfits, and they look out the next morning, and there's a
oh my gosh,
horse eating an ice cream. So it says the end, and then it says maybe not, or something like that.
Something like that. That is so the alligator is founding an orphanage there in his. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
It's cute, but eventually he's like,
I'm your duck.
He's had it, and he's like, I'm your duck, and then they're all.
Oh, that is so precious.
Yeah, it'll be
precious.
I'm excited about it.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one dealy wheelie.
Okay.
Do you have a question?
Well, I was going to say, do you have something more you wanted to show us? And if so, let's look at that.
Okay. And you'll notice I kind of work in a comic book style graphic
with many like a panel of frames.
Yeah, and I just do that. I don't really know why. Some things just kind of grow out of you, and you're surprised by the way it is, and so it's not in the traditional picture book style with a picture and the words at the bottom. But this is one thing I'm working on, and this one's will take a while, but it has no words, and it's about a little it's about the life cycle of a caterpillar, but she's a little girl. So, and I haven't thought much about whether there would be text or not, but right now, I just don't think so. But it pretty much follows the science of caterpillars.
Oh, really?
Where they hatch, and then they climb down. There she is climbing down. Can you see? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And she's hungry. That's what they do. They get really hungry. So they look for food immediately, and they find food, and they start eating, and they eat so much that they go to sleep. They just stuff themselves, and they go to sleep for like 2 or 3 days. And then here their skin becomes dead and crisp, and they step out of their skin, and they're new. I know, it's so weird. And then, this is kind of crazy. I don't even know if I would ever even be able to sell this. But then they look for a place to build their cocoon, and she finds a tree. She climbs up. So that's as far as I've gotten on that. I've gotten the whole concept is finished, but sketching out everything is and again, I'm doing it on this, Those are actually my sketches, these little blobs.
Little blobs, those are like little gestures. We have students in the course, Mary, who are trying to convey and doing a nice job of a science story. Mm-hmm. Like one of our students is doing a stem cell and kind of creating a character out. So this really resonates with us.
Oh, really?
What you're showing. Yeah, this is the first time you've tackled a creative nonfiction lesson, a science lesson in your storytelling. How interesting.
It's hard too. Because it doesn't have that traditional arc, where there's building up, and that's kind of a tough one. So I'm not clear that it's going to work out, but it's something I'm enjoying right now.
We've got some comments right now. from the group. They're typing in the chat box on the YouTube watch page, Mary. We've got a chat box where they can.
Oh, okay.
And so they're saying hello, and somebody's found out they had to update their flash to watch the video. Sorry about that, Marge. Let's see. Marge says,
Open YouTube. I'm afraid it's gonna. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'll just read you some of the comments and see if there's a question here. Margaret's saying, "Ball is hilarious, loved it," and Diane is asking, "What's a normal day like for you, Mary?" Any thoughts?
Right. You know what? It can't. You there?
I am.
Okay, I went out for a second.
Oh, okay.
It's like when I open the YouTube, it can't handle that.
Can't handle the two. Well,
no, I will not open it.
I'll just monitor it for you.
Okay, you'll have to relay.
Yeah. Let me see if I make sure I've got the. So, did you hear the question from Diane? What's a normal day like for you?
Normal would be great.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, who has a normal day?
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Get a.
It's you working over the computer.
Yeah, but at first I drink my coffee and I stare for a long time. Just stare into space and see what's there. Is it a writing day? Is it a drawing day? Is it a day where I can't do anything? There are days like that. So, and then I walk the dogs, and that's usually when I do get ideas and I write in my head, is out when I'm out in the nature, walking the dogs.
Right.
Moving. And I think I've read where doing your legs, and it balances your right and left hemisphere, and that's just a really great way to work something out.
The physical movement,
that right left movement of the legs somehow helps you work through stuff. So it's a really great way for me to write. And walking. And so then I come home and it's so hot here. I don't know where you guys are all from, but it's hot here. So It takes a while to cool down, and then I sit down at my desk. But some days I cry. Some days I'm sad. I don't know what to do, because if you're not inspired, it's so hard. It's hard. You just have to be patient and wait, because I can go days without any inspiration, and it feels like it's over. It feels like, oh, well, that's it. It's gone.
I'll never draw again. I'll never be clever again.
I can't write. I can't do anything. But then it comes back. So
it's very organic. Well, everybody's commenting here on the page about how they love Frankie, and they love the Whose Duck Are You? They want to see how it ends. Excellent ending, Laura says, when you shared the ending. Laura's asking, what tools do you use most with your Wacom?
I use Photoshop, and I'm very primitive in Photoshop. I use the paintbrush. I have a couple of brushes. I think I can show you that, right?
Yeah, sure.
I think I can. Let me try. Let me try to get my.
Mary has gotten her head around the Google Hangout tech very quickly. You have
I don't think you can see the toolbox, can you? What if I move over?
No, and I've heard that before about. Is there an option to share your whole screen? Or
yeah, I did that earlier, and it did a weird thing.
Yeah, that's why sometimes digital artists don't like the Google Hangout, because they have trouble showing their whole workspace.
Okay.
In the toolbox.
Yeah.
Although you were showing it to me last night.
Yeah, I can show the entire screen. Something weird might happen, but let's give it a try, okay?
Yeah, let's try that. You were showing your palette and everything in Photoshop the other night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's the screen.
Yeah.
Here's the toolbox. I use Photoshop. See the toolbox?
Yeah.
I can't make it bigger, but
can you guys see that? I can see it, Mary.
You
Yeah.
can? Okay. This brush right here,
Yeah.
let me get a bigger pointer thing. This brush, that's a paintbrush. And then there's like all these, over here is all these brushes. Well, I only use like 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Uh-huh.
seriously. I mean, I've downloaded watercolor brushes. I've downloaded all kinds of awesome brushes I was going to use. And, you know, I end up using the same few brushes and different opacity. I draw with this one, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I don't do all the really fancy stuff. I don't even know what a channel is. I've pushed buttons on the keyboard, like shortcuts, and I have no idea what I've done. And I have to get on Facebook and ask people, what is channels? What did I do? Help me get out of here. You know?
Help me get out of here. Did
So
you find these two?
I taught myself to use Photoshop.
Yeah. Well, you've told me that before, and then so these handful of tools that you use, are they the result of just you trial and error over time that you've said that I'm going to keep it? I mean,
Yeah. Well, that my art doesn't need it. It's very primitive, you know. It's still very sketchy. I don't need anything else. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, right? Because I used to do it old-fashioned.
well, it's you work in a line and wash style, a traditional line and wash style. So there's, you need a line, and then you need some washes of various opacities and tints.
I mean, like layers. This one, oh, wait, I'm off there. I can have 20, 30 layers on a drawing. Mm-hmm. Are you interested in seeing that?
Sure. I think they would be before, and we are going to get to the critiques in just a minute. We were thinking this morning when we started that we weren't going to do much critique because you guys were still working on your pieces, but now there's work to look at. Let's see your layers.
All right, I'm going to open something from Treat.
Okay.
That I just finished, so that you can see how many layers. Let me find a good one.
While you're looking, I want to give you some comments that they're making. Diane saying, thank you for showing this process. Mark says, nice to see how the work is done. Mark made a comment. Cool, I walk the dog. I'm on the right track. And I also stare into space. Stare into space with my coffee.
Great.
Diane says, I love seeing the planning for the dummy and the manuscript. Very neat to show this, and thank you. So you're getting a lot of plaudits here.
You guys are too nice. You're supposed to be like critical and like, you know.
Yeah, no, this is a very friendly group. Laura says Wacom can be overwhelming. Nice to know that just the basics are okay.
Well, you know, and what I failed to mention was, I know you can't see me right now, but hear me out.
Okay.
What I failed to mention was my Wacom,
whatever,
is the cheap one, the $50, not $50. I'm sorry. It's this guy. I want to show it to you.
Okay.
It used to be called a Bamboo, but I think it's an Intuos or something.
Intuos, yeah.
No buttons, no nothing. It's just this. And everyone else has Cintiqs and, you know, the kind where you use the tapping or this little button on the side.
Yeah.
And I don't. So that's why this is not overwhelming. It just takes practice, you know, drawing on it. But I don't have buttons and stuff like everyone else does.
That helps to know that. It's really, of course, where your sophistication and where the subtlety all comes in is in the decisions you make about what to make the line quality and the layers that you're about to show us and the tints and the colors and the palettes. That's where all that.
Yeah.
But that's, we do that when we're painting with traditional materials as well. So yeah, let's take a look there. They are wanting to see your layering process or what you were about to show us.
All right. Go back over here, screen share.
Okay.
This This is a page from my book Treat that's coming out next spring. How it starts out with, let me get this all turned off, with just the line. And the line is actually floating on top of everything. So there's no background in the line or anything. And then I'll add a yellow background always draw in yellow, kind of an ochre light color.
It's that like that mid-tone process that the Renaissance painters would put.
Yeah, I guess
to make the whites pop out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just need to do that. If there's no yellow there, I don't know what's wrong, and then I'm all of a sudden realize, oh, no yellow.
Ah.
And then I do an undercolor. So this color is underneath the line. And then I'll come and then I'll do a color on top. So that color by itself just looks like that. It's not that big of a deal. You know, it's just cutting back the line a little bit. And then I'll add shadows. So that's a shadow. And this layer right here is 20%. So I can take that, make dark, light, you know.
Right.
Whatever. And then I add another, this is a layer of red on the floor to kind of cut back the yellow a little. And that's just from trying to decide what color is the floor going to be. And this was the easiest way for me to get it to that color. You're
feeling your way toward it, sort of?
Yeah. There's all kinds of, and then there's this crazy white thing I do over, it's 24%. But it's like, see this kind of scribbly.
Yep. Yes, like almost like gouache layer over it or something.
Yeah, and so it takes away that solid background. I don't like that solid computery, you know, background. I can see there's a shadow right in here that's not supposed to be there, but that didn't make it to the final. And then I take another. This is an image from Ball.
Okay.
And since these books are similar,
yeah,
not really sequels, but the same.
They're kind of a series in a way.
Yeah. I want it to look similar, so I carried this character over into this book and kind of always had that up on the page so that I could have that similarity, you know, so it felt like the same kind of work. Because I didn't want to get too far. But then I take all these layers here. I don't know how many there are. Many. Are you seeing the layers?
Well, yeah. Well, we're seeing the one piece of art that's the later stage. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing.
I meant to share the whole screen. But whatever for now.
Yeah.
Then I smash them all, but I really need to show you this. So.
You want to try that?
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Sorry.
Oh, Lord, while you're looking, the questions are piling in. They really are. Let's see. And Laura's asking, you really have to think in stages for planning this, right? You have to think in stages for planning this. It almost sounds like it's almost muscle memory for you now, Mary, or are you very consciously?
And that's what I told you before about how this part's not as exciting as the sketching. These are final drawings. Yeah. And it's a lot of thinking.
Okay.
You know, and you have to, and trying not to lose that, you know, spontaneity and life that you had in the sketch.
Yeah.
Age-old problem. You know that, right?
Yeah.
It's
well, you know, in the Kidlit TV interview, it was so interesting to hear you talk about how you sit there in the early morning when it's hardly light outside yet, and you're sketching and you're waiting for something to happen with that sketch, and you don't want to look at it with all the lights shining.
Oh yeah, I do. That's these lights all around here are killing me. Like I never work. I work in low light. I don't want to see it like
with all the wrinkles and yeah. Well, so you're it's almost like you're waiting for this thing to happen in front of you on accidentally.
Yeah.
On this.
Yes.
Wow.
And making sure that you're always open to whatever comes, however that comes.
Yeah.
However creativity or ideas come, who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Making sure that you're always open for it, which means to me is sitting and quiet, waiting, listening.
Yes. Watching, waiting.
Yeah.
So your yoga practice has helped with, I mean, I don't know if you still do yoga, but you used to teach yoga and meditation, and you're a believer in how these kinds of things can help you with your process. Correct? Is that sort of true?
Yes.
Yes. All right, we're seeing your full workspace now. That's good. We see your palette.
Okay, I was gonna show you that what I do after I get all these layers, that's not the final. What I do is I Shift Command E, and all those layers merge together.
Right.
And then I bump up the red a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to the, let's see, brightness, and I do a little contrast, bump up that. And then that's the final one. So it goes from, really kind of washed out to that,
You work in a very painterly way. And that guy that told you you're not a painter, he was just wrong. He was just wrong.
Well, I don't know about that.
All right. So I think this might be a good time to, Laura's saying, yes, my first sketches are always the best. That's often the case. Although there's a lot of times there's things that happen in a first sketch that the art director will say, well, you got the perspective wrong, or you got some of these basic fundamental things wrong. And so there always comes that kind of boring part when you're trying to fix things.
That's true, yeah.
Hard things.
Revisions are not fun either. So
no.
They can be, but usually it's a little bit stressful.
Well, that is wonderful. Now let's take a look. I put the link to the folder up. Let's go into the folder, Mary, if this is a good time for you, and let's take a look at some of the work that's up there, and we'll walk through it. And guys, continue to post your questions or for Mary on the.
Let me see. Where's the link to the folder?
Okay, it's in the chat box. It's that real long one. Let me try to repost this. Yeah, so I've just reposted it. It's on the chat box. That should open up the folder on your drive.
Okay.
And we'll see it from your point of view. It'll be you're going to share your screen. We'll see it on your desktop.
Okay. Or is everybody so nervous?
Are you nervous, guys? It's kind of scary. Mary's work is so good. That's kind of scary.
Well, I want to tell everybody that a critique is a personal opinion. To me, I think, and I'm going to move this over here. Whoopsie. I'm trying to get, if I have too many tabs open, it won't show.
Oh, okay. Close some tabs then.
Yeah.
Now you're not sharing your screen with us yet. We're seeing you look at your screen. Oh, you know that. Okay. You're trying to get it all set up before you open it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now it's open. Now I'm going to share the screen, and there it is.
Okay. Oh, Laura says, you've taken away my fear of the Wacom.
Oh, really?
And Diane says she pressed F5 when you were showing your space, and she saw more on her screen. So good. She enlarged her screen.
I am just, okay, let me see how this works.
Okay.
There's a folder. Oh, wow. And these, so.
I'm not seeing the, when you go back to screen share, why don't you toggle on?
I'm back on screen share now.
Okay. Now you're back with us. And now let's try to hit the screen. And if it doesn't work, I'll pull up my folder and we'll go that way. But
I see the tab. Well, that's just so weird. Let me close that.
that is weird. I've never seen that before. Try one more time. And
yeah,
then
it's gray.
and that's all. It's all grayed out. I don't understand.
Let me see. I'm seeing in a different tab this thing. Let me go back.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody.
No, it's fine.
It's Mark's fault. It's not my fault.
It's my fault. We didn't do enough tech rehearsal. No.
Yeah, it's like gray.
I've never seen that. So I'm wondering, you could just.
Let me just share my screen. Let me just open this.
Share your full screen.
Okay.
And if not, we'll just go to maybe I'll have a gray screen too. Maybe it's not Google's day.
Oh, we'll make it Google's day.
Yeah. Okay, now now you're in Donna's folder. Yeah. So yeah,
these are Photoshop?
Donna uses a variety of apps, and she has a way of pulling all the results of all the work she does in different apps together into one piece. It's a mysterious process. She's going to show us how she does it one day. But
it looks like pastels.
Yeah, it's all digital.
These are beautiful.
If Donna was going to be late this morning. She may not be here yet to tell us about it.
Should we pick someone who's here?
No, well, no. Let's talk about. Let's just, since you've got her folder open, let's just talk about it. Now, Mary, I'm thinking you could close some of these other windows. The background window of me talking. Can you do?
Okay.
Yeah, and that way we'll be able to focus on the work better.
All right, I'm going to make you smaller.
Make me so small as to be invisible.
Okay.
Nice. There we go. Okay. Nice. All right.
Yeah, this is really, I like this. It's really pretty. Is this a story or?
Donna is, I'm going to see if Donna's on the screen. She may not be here yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
This, for illustration, this to me feels like fine art. I mean, it feels like an art piece, a painting. You know, I'm so jealous. I can't do it. Yeah, and I think I always have to put myself in the place of an art director, because that's who critiques my stuff. You know, that's the person you're going to answer to if you submit. These are beautiful colors. They're very grown up. Now, I don't know, is your class children's illustration?
Yes.
So I could see this being of a child and instead of a woman, and I'm sure this is just one of your pieces of art. I'm pretending like she's listening, even though she's not here.
She will be, yeah.
This is really beautiful. I mean, you see a lot of stuff like this in highlights now. They're getting more where there's some art that's that feels more painterly, and it's really stunning, you know, and they like that now. They're really picky about color. And I love this. I mean, like, I would hang this in my house, and that's like my favorite color, that ochre color, and the green of her eyes.
Beautiful. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you were going to do it for a children's book or a magazine, they might make you pick more primary colors, more but I don't know, though. I can see this in highlights now with a story. Like, let's just say this was child, right? And you know, the eyes are just amazing.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So yeah, I mean, I like that. I would try to play. I myself get into color schemes that I want, that it's almost like an ego thing, and it's really hard for me to break out of it. You know? And it helps me to drag someone else's art that I really love into my computer and borrow their palette and just practice coming out of my box, you know, with new colors and stuff. And for all I know, Donna probably does other colors, and this was just this one painting. But
the skin tones that she's rendering are beautiful, and if this was applied to you could use all the same techniques with a child's face or children of various ages.
Yeah, and the eyes too. You could
use the eyes as well. Yeah,
I could totally see that. I'm already thinking of a story with a cat, and you know, and just that fine art part. Kids don't get enough of that, you know. So
yeah,
it's really I like
it's a nice way to introduce kids to fine art, and I'm sure Donna's got a story in mind. But yeah, so
let's see if we can get to another one. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
that's cute. Yeah. That reminds me of an artist, Priscilla Burr. What's her last name?
Priscilla Burris?
Is that her last name? For
CBWI, the national coordinator for.
Oh no! See, that's why I'm getting it confused. No.
Oh, okay.
She draws for highlights.
Oh, one of the highlights artists, Priscilla. I don't know.
Yeah, this is really pretty. I like this a lot. This is cute. Let's see. This is
Diane's.
Diane or Diane?
Diane.
Diane. Okay, I like that spelling. My sister's name is Diane.
Spelled the same way?
No, that's really unusual. And I like it a lot.
Diane, this was a watercolor, correct? Or did you pull it into Photoshop? I can't remember. Diane works really well in watercolor, but I think she works digitally as well.
So she imported it from...
Diane, can you fill us in and remind us how this... It'll take a minute for her to type in.
I think I can maybe guess. But I'll wait. I won't guess.
Diane says, I have a paper with it. Let's see, Diane.
Is it an ink drawing with color behind it?
We're still waiting for her to fill us in. Watercolor with some digital color. So she must have pulled it into Photoshop. She says her name, by the way, is pronounced with a southern accent. So it's Diane. Accent on the first syllable. Diane.
Wow, really?
Diane. She's in Kentucky. Yeah. So Diane.
I love this. I love the colors. They're really bright. Publishers like those bright colors. They really do.
Huh.
And they also like, and this is something that I haven't been able to do very well, and you've done it really great, is the, I don't even know what it's called, you know, where you take all the background out. There's the white.
Yeah, vignette-like.
Vignette, yeah.
She says that she does, the line work is by hand. So she's, and then she colors digitally all the way here. Okay.
So like a pen and ink, or a mark, maybe a little micron pigment, a little marker, or
is that the kind of Diane? But Laura says I like the white space on this one.
Yeah, this is good. I like it a lot. The thing that I would probably do is make sure that around the kids there's not a lot of not a lot of darkness. Like you have a dark shadow behind them, and if you can, I don't know, I guess I'm seeing maybe more. If you did, I know what you're trying to do though. You want them to stand out, and so that's why you put the dark shadow. But I think, yeah, and it might just need to be lightened up, or maybe a little bit of line work added to it. But I'm trying to think, if I was an art director, which I am not, I would want to see the kids maybe a little bit closer, you know, because kids, little young kids, and not that they're all little, but there needs to be a focus on the page. Not like everything on the page right now is kind of has the same feel to it. So I think maybe bringing the kids out a little bit or making them a little bit bigger, lightening up their clothes a little so that they stand out a little more, you know. But other than that, I mean, I think the style you have works really well with illustrating stories. Again, going back to like magazines, which is a great place to start. This is like perfect for a magazine. It is. The colors are good. They would love this.
It feels like autumn and pumpkin season, definitely. Mary, did we hear you correctly? Were you saying she might consider, if she were doing another sketch, bunching the kids together, like how little kids, when they're doing something like this, something fun, they do sort of tend to clump up, and then they become one design unit instead of two separate entities that are like the same? Do you know what I'm, or was I running off on that?
Yeah, I guess I was saying I wanted to see more of the kids, and I don't really, I want them to be a little bit closer to me.
Closer to you, not to each other.
Like,
okay.
if we were to enlarge the truck, you know, I mean, kind of enlarge it a little and bring those kids a little. But I mean, if this is like, say this is the last scene and these kids are friends and they're riding off on the pumpkin,
going off in the distance.
Perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. It just depends. I guess it all depends on what the story is, but yeah, it's really cute. I really love your quick line. It looks very quick and light and lighthearted. I mean, not light. And that matters a lot.
Light touch, yeah.
Yeah, it's not overworked. It looks real spontaneous.
Good.
I'm jealous of this one too. I'm not good at that. I overthink everything too much. So good job. I like that a lot. I see it's revised. What did the other one look like?
She showed this to us a few sessions back, and it was very similar. I'm not sure what the changes are. We could hunt for it, but we'll move on to the others. It was.
I'm wondering if
Diane might tell us. Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't even need that background green thing, green, you know, space behind it. If it can just be white under there, or maybe some little shadow. But I like it a lot. I think it's good. Send it to highlights.
So Mary's saying send it, Diane. So Diane's saying before I had shadows and removed. So she's removed something, and then she says she used the Pigma Micron. She used a 0.00 and a 0.05 and a 0.02 Pigma Micron pen for her lines. And she says, I was trying to add contrast. Maybe add a contrasting color would be better as opposed to shadow.
Yeah.
And then Laura says, maybe move the pumpkin from between their heads. So yeah, but that's Diane's. That's good that you were thinking about contrast and ways of playing darks against lights. That's an important thing.
But what also happens in a printing is that without a doubt they're going to print it too dark, and your dark areas are going to come up just black. You know, I don't know why they don't have more sensibility about that, but.
So yeah, you have to very carefully calibrate these things about value, and it's sometimes that's a good.
If you take it and you print it out in black and white, you'll see what shows up the most. You know, it's a good way to test your values and make sure that what you want them to look at is what's showing. I mean. Showing. I don't know why I said that. What's standing out.
Now this is one of her traditional watercolors.
Oh, that's same person. Oh, wow. So that's on watercolor paper and scanned in, and then.
Correct us if we're wrong on that, Diane. But it's just, did you do it on like watercolor arches? Diane breeds dogs. She and her husband show dogs. They show dogs.
Rottweilers?
Let's see.
Looks like a little Rottweiler puppy. I don't know. Anyway, this is pretty. This is another like the watercolor. You know what? Nowadays, as fast as they want art, if you could somehow figure out how to do watercolor on the computer, you know, it's really sad how fast they want stuff, so that you just don't have time to manipulate a watercolor painting as much.
Or redo one.
Yeah, redo one. You'd have, yeah, I don't know a lot about watercolor. But they have so many brushes now, that watercolor brushes in Photoshop that you can download. Actually, you have to go online. You just Google Photoshop watercolor brushes, and you can get them into your Photoshop, and they're pretty cool. They're really fun to work with. But
find 2 or 3 that you like Mary does. Keep it simple.
Yeah. Oh, this is another.
This is Diane's also. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, these are great.
Yeah.
Like I said before, this quick black line with the color in it, that's like highly desirable in magazines. You know, children's illustration. They love that quick. You know, I'm just looking at this boy's face right here, and it's just you guys see it, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know what you're talking about. And yeah, these are really cute, Diane.
Perfect. Yeah, you have a great style. You do good.
Let's see. She had a little note message. Let's click on that and make sure we're not missing. Okay. We should have read this to start with, Diane. My apology. I should have gone over it.
Dragon and Girl. I didn't see that one. Try Dragon, digital over watercolor. Hayride, that one on Thanksgiving.
And the berry picking, painting. Oh, she added a little digital to the watercolor of the girl's berry picking. Okay.
Oh, that's cute. The puppies visiting the farm. That's pretty. I like that. It's very, your stuff's really fine art. Well, this one is the fine art, you know, and then these are very illustration, you know, traditional illustration to me.
Yeah.
Beautiful, really, really great stuff.
Yeah, the brightness of it. Let's see, for this next one, we're going to look at some of Shuang's pieces. And so let's go, I'm going to get you to click on Shuang's note. It's on the bottom of the, and let's make sure we hit all the bases here. So she says, I'm working on the story of a stem cell and Shuang works as a scientist and a researcher. I'm working on the story of a stem cell for a while, which tells how the zygote stem cell generates copies themselves while traveling through the fallopian tube, plant in uterus, and grew up. This is like the caterpillar story.
I know, it is.
It is.
Like that.
Grew up into a baby. There are too many pages to upload all of them here. These 2 pictures tell the zygote copy out a pail, and start to have fun with the traveling. These are drafts of watercolor trial. I'm a very beginner with watercolor. And she says, thank you very much for your advice. Okay, so I think that those are the sketches are the ones, yeah, just.
Wow, I love these. This is like a lot, I feel like a lot like my style.
Yeah.
So, they're beautiful. They're so beautiful. The pen, I'm thinking these are actually watercolor pencil.
Yeah.
Maybe they said that she said it in the letter, but.
It's watercolor, isn't it, Shuang? And yeah, what do you think of the watercolor style, Mary?
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I really love it a lot. I think there's definitely a place for that. And now I think a magazine, you know, they might think it's too washed out. It's not. They're always after the primary colors, you know,
bright contrast.
Yeah, and I've tried to talk them out of that. So much out there, like this is gorgeous, and I would have loved this as a child, you know. I think there was more of this when I was growing up. There was more freedom and illustration, and now it's You know, they like primary colors. They want bright. But this is more like a trade book, you know, like a picture book.
Right.
You know, that you would buy in the store with again, the art. It's just more like art. It's very beautiful. Where is she from? I know she here.
Sean, do you want to fill us in a little bit?
I don't know why I assume that.
She's in the New Jersey area, if I'm not mistaken. And
have you had training? These are really pretty. I love these. These are really pretty. I don't, you know.
Let's see where I'm looking for. She was asking earlier, Mary Shuang was, what she was saying. Do you mind telling us what kind of stylus you use or like? And so, was it the stylus that came with your the bamboo stylus that came with the?
Yeah, I think there's only one stylus, but there's a million paintbrushes on Photoshop, right?
Yeah.
So,
just the stylus that came with the Wacom, and then she's asking what edition of Photoshop is in your computer at this time.
I have CS. I have the one that is going to eventually probably go away. It's really sad what they've done with Photoshop. CS6.
Oh, right before the Creative Cloud thing.
Yeah, now they have the cloud thing where you have to rent it.
You don't like that?
By the month? No, I own this one. But I don't think you can buy them anymore, can you?
I think so. I thought so, but
yeah, I thought it was going to be cloud.
Yeah, this is nice, Shuang. I haven't seen this one.
Yeah, this and you know what? You can do all this on the computer. I mean, you can do a wash, you can do this line. I have this over here, these paintbrushes right here. Let me get way in here, but can you see the paint?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You can get it really small and you know, you can cut back the opacity and get it lighter, but you could do exactly what you do. And it takes time, you know.
To learn, to work with, to feel comfortable.
To feel good about it. Yeah, I feel comfortable about it.
If she were trying to interest a publisher in her story concept and she's kind of working on a dummy, would you say, what would you recommend? Could she submit sketches like this these days with her manuscript and just show a few, or would you recommend she try a whole storyboard with some line art or a partial dummy, partial?
Gosh, there's so many ways to do it. I myself, for some reason, I want to draw the whole thing out because I want them to get it, you know. With
all the full impact of nearly the final art.
Yeah, and
at least the black and white version of it.
They get so much stuff, and I think for some reason I feel like if they have to visualize something
and think too much about it,
they don't have time. And I don't know. I think if they can have a dummy, but you certainly don't have to do like finished drawings or paintings like this.
Okay.
You can do sketches. Definitely sketches, and just making sure they get what you want to do. That's the big thing, is not leaving it open to chance, you know, whether they're tired that day or so. Actually, I don't. Maybe I misled you, but these things I do over here, I don't submit these. I submit a PDF. I separate all these out.
Yeah.
And I put them in a PDF. So maybe I lied earlier.
Well, this is a PDF with the duck.
Well, no, I actually made a PDF in Adobe InDesign.
Oh, you mean with page turns and everything? A whole. I got it. Okay.
I do give this also. This is like a low res collection, so they can like see the whole
at a glance. Okay.
But they want a PDF.
They want the experience of going through the book.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's very good to know.
But, and it's also good. I don't know if Shuang, you have access to a publisher. It's hard to get access to a publisher for anybody, any of you guys. So good luck with that. No.
We're recommending, yeah, that's why we recommend SCBWI and hitting some conferences. And
oh yeah, you can meet.
There's those market directories, and then finding them on Facebook. Certain editors and art directors are very accessible through social media, and it's just a long slog. It's just getting comfortable relating to them, and meeting them at events and stuff is also good.
Those are beautiful. I like those a lot. Everything I've seen so far, just really, it's been great.
Oh, thank you, Mary.
Everything's on. You guys are on your way. Disney World. That's what
okay. Now, whose is this?
This is cute.
Whose is this? Somebody take credit for this.
Let's see.
We don't see a message. Oh, is it Marg? Let me look on the page.
Cute. Look at that dog. That is hilarious. This is great. These colors are great. Everything about this is just great. We don't know who it is.
I'm waiting for somebody to claim it. I can't tell from the name of the. I can't tell from the file label. We like you to put your name or first name somewhere on the label. So somebody claim it. In the meantime, Mary, tell us why you're liking it and what you're finding.
Because it reminds me of. Have you ever heard of Delphine Duran?
No.
It reminds me of her work, which I so love. Are you seeing the thing here?
Let me hang on just a second. I'm in the folder.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's see. Delphine Duran. Is she American or is she from Europe?
Yeah, she's probably from Europe.
Oh, it looks like French.
Yeah.
Oh, you're absolutely right. It does.
Yeah. And I just love her. I just adore her stuff. This especially, it reminded me of, because this little girl, her sisters tell her she's a chicken and she goes to a farm. And that's what I thought of when I saw his drawing, or the other drawing. Is it his? I don't.
Yeah, let's see. I'll see if she's claimed it yet.
What I like about this is how everything is spread out. I found that's really important for young kid illustrations, and that's what I like about Delphine's stuff is stuff's spread out. There's space between it, you know. And I like that. Yeah. I like space around the characters.
This is Julie Douglas's work, and she says this is the first time she's uploaded anything. It's about a dog named Time, Time.
Oh, happy Time. Yeah, I love the way she has. I love this horse thing here. It's really cute, and the style's I think very desirable. It's really very cute. I like it a lot. There's a little bit of maybe too much similarity in the values with the truck and the road there, but
Julie, what we mean by that is if you squint your eyes and look at the truck, because it is the same tone or value as the road, that sort of, it doesn't stand out as much as it could. Let's see, what would your strategy be to fix that, Mary? And then
I like the red truck.
Yeah.
I would do something with the road.
Just maybe lift up some of that color if it's traditional pigment, which it looks like. Just lift up some of the color and lighten the road, because it would be receiving all that light from the sky anyway, so it would be a lighter value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cute, that dog. I like the size of the dog. You know how he's kind of big dog, and got a big presence, obviously, at this house. And so does the rooster. A very big presence. But yeah, I love that. I love how everything's spread out. I love that horse. The horse and that dog's face are very, very cute.
It resembles child's art, but it's a little more knowing, and designery, but that's another part of its appeal, is that a child would look at this and say, oh, I could create a world like this with my
Seriously,
colors.
yeah. Any of you guys could, like this right here looks like a postcard that you could do
Yeah.
at a overnight prints. That's what I use. And so cute. Put your name, the title down here, and then put your information on the back, throw a stamp on it, and mail it to Highlights. I'm sorry I keep pushing Highlights, but you know, they have 3 magazines. They're like worldwide now, and
you've been with them for a long time. You were with them for a long time, and
yeah, I don't even know of any other magazines. Do you, Mark? No.
well, there's the Caris and the children's the Cricket magazine.
Yeah.
But they're taking, so they don't pay in time anymore.
I know. I heard.
I mean, we haven't talked a whole lot about it in this session yet. They used to pay like clockwork every month, but I don't know what's going on with them now.
Yeah.
Those are the two. But I think Highlights is, I've never heard anything bad about them. Not about.
Yeah. They pay really fast too.
And the name of their book imprint, do they still own their book imprint?
Yeah,
Boyd's Mills Press. And
that's where I did my first book illustration. All right.
Yeah, so Diane's saying, great job, Julie, on the watercolor. And Shuangzhu says the wash is hard. And let's see, Julie says it is watercolor. Great. So you're saying, Julie, for Julie to actually turn this into a promotional piece. Maybe if she lightens the value, lifts up some of the color on the road, and then
she could do, I guess, she have Photoshop.
Do you have Photoshop, Julie? You're trying to get us all into Photoshop. Wow, we need to get on the ball here.
I know, you guys. The class is traditional, right?
Well, it is, but we're seeing so many. Photoshop is encroaching. I mean, digital art is encroaching into the space. So we've been talking about a really good Photoshop for Children's Book Illustrators course taught by Lita Chung, and it's a real affordable. It's like $97, and it's all about Photoshop. So I'm going to encourage everybody to think about. I'll put the link up to her course. But also, you've taught us a lot just this morning about Photoshop, Mary.
Oh yeah, I could go on.
You could do a course. You could do a course.
Well, it'd have to be for dummies, right? It would have to be like, because I'm a dummy. That's I could only convey the simplest of ideas.
Well, that would be what we would all need to get up to speed. I mean, look what you do with your simple ideas. Shuang is from China, living in New Jersey. She was answering that question. Julie says, I have Art Studio on my iPad. She has so Art Studio on her iPad, must be a new app.
Julie is the red truck, or
Julie is the red truck. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah, this one has such a unique feel to it. You know, it's just it's really sweet. They're all I like them all. They all are so different and so like on track with.
Oh, it's great to hear. Yeah. This is Marg's piece.
Hey, Marg.
And
you here?
She is here, and she's been showing us peeks inside this story. It's a really cute story, kind of a cat and mouse intrigue, sort of fun, nearly wordless picture book. But now she's showing us her cover. So let's approach this from the point of view of a cover.
Okay.
An art director looking at a cover. How is it working for you?
Well, it's really cute. Is this like traditional, or is it?
Yeah, I believe she was. Unless it's looking like parts of it are brought in digitally, but she was working. Is it a blend, Mark? You might have to fill us in a little bit.
Yeah, it's cute. I'm thinking that probably they would want the thing about covers is really weird, but they take the covers and they'll tell, I mean, I've heard them say, we have a meeting with Barnes and Noble.
Ah.
Yes. And Barnes and Noble has to like it. They'll have to have a vision of it on an end cap or a kiosk or whatever.
Yeah.
How is the cover display, right?
Right.
And what do the colors look like? So And I've
Right.
noticed the early ball that came out, the very first edition, it was the color I picked. And it was a little bit muted. It was a little, I don't know, my color can be depressing. I mean, it can be not happy and not stand out, right?
Right.
As the editions came out, they got brighter and brighter. So someone's like tweaking it.
The background color, you mean, Mary, or
Yeah,
all of the colors?
the
Okay.
background color on the front cover. So they're tweaking it to get brighter and brighter. And so they want happy, bright colors, you know. And, also, I've discovered this. I wanted to show you guys this real quick because this is what I use on my covers. It's the color scheme designer, and it's, let's see, you seeing it's coming up right now.
Okay, Peloton.com. Okay, yeah. Color picker. Okay.
And so I knew I wanted a blue background. Let's see, let's get this. Of course, so what it's going to give you is, now I did not study color wheel, all that color stuff in fine arts. So I'm just winging it, right?
Your taste. You're using your own internal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had that other Frankie color was too pink. And so they wanted it to be either, a different color. So I'm thinking, okay, what if I did a blue background? So I moved this thing around to the blue. I picked, I don't remember if I picked one of these. And so over here on the right, these are the colors I used on the cover because they're all complementary.
So it's showing. So when you move your little dot around on the wheel and picking it like a dominant color, what the image on the right is showing you are the other colors you can use with it. Yes. for a harmonious palette. Exactly. And so it's going to include the contrast color, the color across the wheel, and variations. Okay, that's so just the 4 colors. So are you stuck with those?
You can do the 3 or
okay
1.
Guys, that's interesting.
Yeah, and what I do is like right down here, you can copy and paste the RGB number.
Yeah.
And you can put it into your Photoshop. That's all really kind of maybe overwhelming.
Would it translate into CMYK for?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
You'd have to find a way to
mess with that. I mean, I do have to send files in CMYK, and I have to make sure they look good, but
right.
It's impossible to tell on your computer because the computer is RGB. You can't. It's very difficult. But yeah, this is a huge help. So you can find if I do. Where's the picture? If I do this color blue, if I really want that blue background, what color, is the floor going to be? That's really going to be attractive to their eye because the cover, you're trying to sell the cover.
It makes sense then that they would have these meetings with the giant distributors and bookstores because the cover is the billboard for the book, isn't it? Yeah, that's all anyone gets to see on the catalogs and on the shelves.
I can't tell you how many times too I have looked at a cover and been, wow, this is awesome. This cover's bright. It's great. But then I open the book and it's nothing like the book inside. And now I understand how that happens because they want the cover now for Frankie, and the book is not really due until, I don't know, next spring or something. So things change, but yeah, definitely. And, brightening up this font right here, they're probably going to want it not down the side, but across the top or across the bottom. I tried to put Frankie, I don't even know where Frankie is right now. Let's see. Yeah, I had the type at the bottom. I really liked it at the bottom, but they wanted it at the top. So I moved it back up to the top, and luckily, it's all I can move the title anywhere because it's a separate layer.
When you were submitting your PDF for Frankie to them, did you include your first version of the cover?
Oh yeah, yeah. I included
with,
all
with your
all
package. And you did the same thing with the alligators and the duck story. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have only done one cover for that. I haven't even thought about
Haven't even started the
color or anything on that. I just now sold that, so I haven't done anything on the duck.
Yeah.
One.
But you included something addressing the cover in your proposal package. So you had a
yeah. Oh yeah. I did.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Show us. Yeah. You had. Yeah. It gave us an idea of how it could be. And that's.
I'm looking at it and I'm like thinking, really, that hat? I don't know. That hat is kind of.
Yeah. Mary has frozen. She'll be back with us in just a second. Does that help a little bit, Mark? I like how you've got the two. Let me make it. Let me make a note to Mary real fast.
Hello?
There you are. You're back. Yeah, I lost your audio for a minute. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I don't even know where you are. Oh, there you are.
I'm here somewhere.
I feel like I need to. Anyway, so we were with this guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's a great cover. I think I'd like to see the cat be a little bit bigger. And I don't know who the main character is, but
the mice and the cat, they're adversaries, and they're both equally.
That's cute. I like their relationship right there. And they might have a problem with you showing the butt of the
really
towards you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not. That's, like I said, that could be just me. I would probably maybe sit him down or
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a great gesture and a great rendering you did there with it.
Yeah.
The backside Marg. That's real cute. And you've done some homework, some research on mice. It's clear.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And I would definitely make the background match the kind of the washiness of.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Looking like a solid Photoshop background. Yeah. Maybe she just hasn't gotten around to that yet, but yeah, and lighten up the background a little. It's cute.
I'm not quite clear what this is in the upper right corner. It looks like, is it an oven? It looks like maybe an oven or a washing machine.
Yeah, is that is that an important part of the story?
Because I don't know. I don't know what.
Yeah, I can totally see maybe the cat coming more center, the title being up at the top, losing maybe even the bowl and that, maybe move the mouse over here, and they're looking more not towards the gutter. Well, it's the cover, so not towards the left side.
Okay.
Flip it so they're looking right and move this mouse over to the right.
Okay.
So that it's kind of encouraging you to open the book.
I see. Do you guys hear get what she's saying? So instead of having all of this activity and interaction over here on the left, which is at the spine of the book, if you flip it so that the action is over here toward the right, that moves you towards opening that page and looking inside.
And you create a line, instead of a line going to the left from the cat to the mouse, you're creating a line going to the right.
Left to right, the way we read and open books. That's a good point.
I always try to have, like here, on this duck one. Can you see it? We're back to the duck.
Yeah.
It's something pointing that makes you want to turn the page, you know, like
Yeah.
a direction that's going right, but very subtle, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, either up and out, you know, but.
Very helpful. Marg says that she did this with the digital was done in Sketchbook.
Yeah.
But it did not, oddly, it did not, she says the brightness did not translate to YouTube. So,
Okay.
and Marg says the white object on the right was supposed to be a stove and not really part of the story.
Yeah.
Marg says this is a great hint for reversing. Thanks, Mary.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that might be another strong point about this one is it takes you to the next page, you know, or.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps us moving left to right.
Yeah. But
Mary, this has been a wonderful critique, and you have been really, really good just helping us see lots of new things in new ways. And guys, if this would be a good time, while we're waiting for your last minute questions for Mary, I wonder if you could pull up the cover of Ball. If you can't, I can do it from my end, and we look at it just because we were talking about covers. It's kind of an iconic cover. It's an award-winning. It's got the award sticker on the cover, which is now part of the design element. But it reminds me of some of the covers you guys are doing as well. It's
let's see. This one will probably work.
Okay. I've got one on my computer if it doesn't. But get your last minute questions in for Mary. She's got to get back to work, so we can't have her all morning or all day like we'd like to. There we go. Can you make it bigger for us? There we go. Okay. Look, the ball is on the right, so it's got our eye moving from left to right, and the dog's eyes are looking to the right.
It says, "Open me."
Open me.
Yeah.
Word and Pictures by Mary Sullivan. Oh my gosh.
Do you want to see the cover of Treat?
Yes, we want to see the cover of Treat.
All right, let me find it.
And you've got and like you guys were doing today, she's working here on the cover anyway, at least with a limited palette, right? She's really not throwing in every color in the rainbow.
Yeah, and they kind of don't like that, but I think they're okay with it now. With me, they know that's what they're going to get.
This sort of monochromatic understatement, this pastel color that you like to use?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, you've got a very sophisticated palette.
Yeah. And you really, a lot of it is, did we freeze?
No, not yet.
A lot of it is finding an editor that you can work with that really appreciates your stuff.
Yep. Your unique style. So. There's Treat. There's okay, good.
Actually, that's not the color the text is going to be. So.
What color is the text going to be? It's kind of a chocolate looking color.
Yeah, it's more of a turquoise. Actually, I have the oh yeah, whatever. It's a turquoise, kind of dark turquoise color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's so fun.
Yeah.
Looking cross-eyed at his little doggy bone.
Yeah. But yeah, what else?
Did you sketch a bunch of versions? I mean, can you talk about the process of your cover? How many did you draw of him before you were satisfied that you had a iconic cover gesture?
It was tough. I mean, I was really attached to a lot of them. I wonder if sometimes I get rid of them all because I just can't stand looking at them anymore. And
takes a bit of stamina, you're saying, to stick with those. Now, what
you just have to believe in yourself, kind of, you know, and you have to believe that, well, I've done it and it worked, and so I'm trying to. I don't even know what I'm looking for now.
Well, what are these? What's this little? Go ahead.
No, I was telling you about that I was going to that I did a lot of versions of Treat before I got to that cover, but
Yes.
different dog positions, and they actually picked one I'm not sure I would have picked, but it's okay.
Hmm.
At some point you have to let go and let them be the ones that make decisions, you know. I'm not the kind of artist that makes, I believe in this, you have to do this, this is the way I imagined it, you know. I have a lot of respect for them, and so.
Yeah, a lot of them really know what they're doing, and they're very smart about that stuff. But now I'm not on the treat cover. You had a strip down the one side where he was doing a little acrobatic stunt. What was that going to be? What was that part of the cover? And then on the left, like the back of the cover, you had little vignettes, like comic book style, a panel.
Yeah, this is basically this guide right here. These black lines.
Okay. Yes.
Those are. Let me close all this stuff. Those are just. This is the cover. These are the flaps.
Those are the flaps of the jacket.
Yeah,
okay, the jacket that will tuck inside, where the blurb will go above it, right? It's going to talk about Mary Sullivan. And
the back flap over here.
Got it.
This is the back cover.
And the back cover just has these cute, really cute vignettes from the book, from the inside of the book. Is that correct? Like almost like a box of note cards saying, these are the cards that are inside the box. And look how bright, look how much of the spectrum you're bringing into these images inside. That's brighter than usual.
This is the case wrap. This is the actual hard book.
So when you take the jacket off, you take the book jacket off, remove it.
The same thing on Ball, where it was the jacket and the case wrap did not match. So you take the case wrap off and it's this. And these are just all the sketches I went through in Treat that didn't make it into the book. And the
outtakes.
Yeah, exactly. And I really feel like honoring them, you know, like, because I was stuck with this shark over here forever. And I just did not want to let him go, had to let him go, you know. I had to let go this down here on the, right here in this corner. He's on a farm. And actually the book used to be called Food. And I changed it to Treat. So anyway, they're
well,
like.
That gives us a wonderful glimpse into your process.
Yeah, so this was the original dog here, but
wait,
they felt like it looked too much.
We're missing him. Share your
screen. Oh, you don't see it?
Now go back to the screen share again. We want to see the dog, the original character.
Okay. So you can't. What happened? It just went away?
It just stopped for some reason.
Okay.
But we're seeing you. Now we're getting there.
Okay. Do you see it now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Where
down here at the bottom.
Okay. Oh, okay. Bottom left.
I can hear myself talking. Right here, this guy.
Yeah.
Was the original.
Okay.
He was the original dog right here, this guy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But they said he looked too much like Ball, so
yeah.
I changed him to a bulldog. And here he is as a pirate. But and this was a dream scene I took out. It was going to be really funny, but it just didn't work out. You know, I felt like it was too similar to one of the scenes in Ball where there's a birthday cake. So, and then he's on a desert island over here. That's when the sharks are all around him, and they're all have these text bubbles that say food, you know, and he's like, oh my God. But anyway.
That's entertainment, Mary. God, I want the book to be out now so I can get my copy.
Oh
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the screen one more time for your guys' last parting questions for Mary, and there'll probably be a bunch of them. And let's see. Mostly they're just lavishing praise on you, Mary, and your work. Laura says this was so helpful. Thanks for all the great tips. Very helpful. Thanks so much, Mary. Love that posture. He just makes me smile on the ball. Does the dog have a name inside? Does the treat dog have a name? Oh, no, they're talking about the cover on Ball.
Yeah.
He
had a name
doesn't.
originally.
Yeah, but he doesn't in the book.
No.
He's every dog.
Yeah.
Donna says that she could not be here earlier. She had an earlier meeting. I'm very grateful to you, Mary and Mark. We'll look forward to the replay. Loris refers to the storyboard. Mark says, so gorgeous and appealing. And Diane says she refers to the wrap as the hidden bonus of the book. Yeah. It's a real treat. Mark says, I really enjoy the insight into how the book progresses from start to final. Julie says, love your work, Mary. And I'm gonna reiterate Julie's comment and say, Mary, we love your work. I love your work. And it's just a real privilege to talk to you.
Nice.
Oh my God.
We're so lucky in Austin to have Mark. He's the glue.
Well, you're gonna have to come back at us again. We're gonna have you back, Mary, in about 6 or 7 months now. And everybody, notice we'll all be trying to work in your style, and you'll see all this work that looks like yours.
Well, if anybody ever wants to email me and ask me a question, or I don't mind at all. I love that, to get off my work and help somebody else. So.
Well, and talk up Mary's work to your friends too, so that we can help spread the word about Mary's work. And we'll put links again up to her video interview replays that are on YouTube. And go back and visit the interview she did for us about Ball way back in 2013 or 14. I think it might have been 2013. If there's no more questions from you guys, we're going to let Mary get back to work. Oh, Laura did have a question, and she asked it earlier, and I missed it.
That's fine. I'm letting that hurry.
She says, any special template that you use for storyboarding? That's a good question.
I make one. I take a big giant file in Photoshop, and I divide it into 32 pages. So I can see, the whole thing. I'm not traditional. I didn't go to illustration school or storyboarding school or.
Oh.
I kind of like that I'm able to find what works for me. I'm not stuck on.
You went to custom card design school, self on the job training, and then of course your fine arts painting training.
I took drawing in college all the time, drawing and printmaking. So.
Well, it's paid off, hasn't it? A great foundation for your pieces. So you don't have a template that you resort to. You just sort of put your lines in with your Photoshop tools and just start from scratch each time with a template.
You know what? I have this PDF that I've been carrying around. Gene Brennick? Oh,
yeah. Sure.
He gave it to me many years ago after he went to a conference.
Okay.
I'll send it to you, and you can give it to your students.
Oh, okay. We'll credit you and Gene for it then.
It's so great. It's so simple on how to create a picture book, and there's also a little template in there for storyboard, laid out.
Okay.
It talks about the arc, the story arc.
Okay.
So.
A nice little handout. Well, that would be great, and we'll be in your debt.
Oh, sure. I don't know. I don't know who did it. Maybe there's a name on it or what. I hate passing someone's work around that without.
Well, if somebody gets upset about it, we'll just we'll bring them on for an interview.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, let's see. Laura says, you give me hope. Thanks.
Oh.
And Donna says, wow, thanks for letting us contact you. We'll be glad to put your links out on my Facebook page. Yeah, let's all spread the word about Mary's previous titles and her upcoming titles, which we really look forward to seeing. And again, thank you. It's been a real privilege, real treat.
Thank you,
okay.
Mark.
We'll see you guys next time. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.